Good morning, everyone. Today we will be discussing the ethical and legal aspects of nursing care, which are crucial for protecting patients and residents from harm. Understanding these aspects is essential for anyone involved in healthcare, as they guide our actions and decisions in providing safe and effective care. We will explore the concepts of ethics, professional boundaries, legal responsibilities, and the importance of reporting abuse. By the end of this lecture, you will have a comprehensive understanding of how ethical and legal standards shape nursing practice and ensure the well-being of those we care for. Nurse Practice Acts. Your training and job description and safe delegation serve to protect patients and residents from harm. Protecting them from harm also involves adhering to laws, rules, and standards of conduct, which form the ethical and legal aspects of care. Ethics is the knowledge of what is right conduct and wrong conduct. It involves making choices or judgments about what should or should not be done. An ethical person behaves in the right way and does not harm others. Ethical behavior also means not being prejudiced or biased, which involves making judgments before knowing the facts. These judgments are often based on one's values, culture, religion, education, and experiences. It is important not to judge others by your own standards and to respect their values and choices. Professional groups have codes of ethics, which are rules or standards of conduct for members to follow. For nursing assistants, the code of conduct includes respecting each person as an individual, knowing the limits of your role, performing tasks within the legal limits of your role, and protecting the person's privacy and property. These rules guide your thinking, actions, and behavior. As a nursing assistant, you enter into a helping relationship with patients or residents and their families. In this relationship, you are trusted with their care and private information. Professional boundaries separate helpful actions and behaviors from those that are not helpful. Being under-involved or over-involved with a person can lead to issues such as disinterest, avoidance, neglect, boundary crossings, boundary violations, and professional sexual misconduct. It is important to maintain professional boundaries and be alert to boundary signs that warn of potential issues. Ethics is about what you should or should not do, while laws tell you what you can and cannot do. Laws are rules of conduct made by government bodies to protect public welfare. Criminal laws address offenses against the public and society, such as murder, robbery, theft, rape, kidnapping, and abuse. Civil laws concern relationships between people, such as contracts and nurse practice acts. Torts are wrongs committed against a person or their property, and they can be intentional or unintentional. Unintentional torts, such as negligence, occur when standards of care are not met. Negligence is an unintentional wrong where a person did not act in a reasonable and careful manner, causing harm to another person or their property. Examples of negligent acts include failing to test water temperature, not answering call lights promptly, not following manufacturer instructions, and not identifying a person before a procedure. Malpractice is negligence by a professional person, such as a nurse or doctor. Intentional torts are meant to be harmful and may be crimes. Examples include defamation, fraud, false imprisonment, invasion of privacy, assault, and battery. It is important to protect yourself from defamation by not making false statements about others and to obtain consent before performing any procedure or task. Patients and residents have the right to personal privacy, which involves privacy of their body, private affairs, and information about their care, treatment, and condition. Invasion of privacy is violating this right without consent. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, HIPAA, protects the privacy and security of health information. It is essential to follow agency policies and procedures to avoid HIPAA violations. Electronic communications, such as emails, text messages, and social media, must be used correctly to protect privacy and confidentiality. Wrongful use of electronic communications can result in job loss, loss of certification, civil action, or criminal action. Informed consent is the process by which a person receives and understands information about a treatment or procedure and decides to receive or refuse it. Consent can be written, verbal, or implied. It is important to explain the steps of a procedure to obtain consent and allow the person to refuse at any time. Abuse is the willful infliction of injury, unreasonable confinement, intimidation, or punishment that results in physical harm, pain, or mental anguish. Abuse can occur at home or in healthcare agencies, and it is often perpetrated by family members or caregivers. State laws, accrediting agencies, and OBRA do not allow agencies to employ persons convicted of abuse, neglect, or mistreatment. It is important to report any suspected abuse to the nurse and provide detailed information. Vulnerable persons, such as older adults and children, are at risk for harm. Neglect is when a caregiver fails to protect a vulnerable person from harm or provide for their basic needs. Self-neglect occurs when a person's behaviors threaten their own health, safety, and well-being. Elder abuse is any intentional act or failure to act by a caregiver that causes harm or risk of harm to an older adult. It is important to be alert for signs of elder abuse and report any concerns. Child abuse and neglect involve intentional harm or mistreatment of a child under 18 years old. It can result in death, serious physical or emotional harm, sexual abuse, or exploitation. Risk factors for child abuse include stress, family crisis, single parenting, teenage parenting, physical or mental illness, and unrealistic expectations for the child's behavior. Types of child abuse include physical abuse, neglect, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and parental or caregiver substance use. It is important to report any suspected child abuse to the nurse. Intimate partner violence, IPV, is abuse or aggression that occurs in a romantic relationship. It includes physical violence, sexual violence, psychological aggression, and stalking. Both men and women can be victims of IPV, but women are more often affected. It is important to be aware of warning signs of IPV and report any concerns to the nurse. A will is a legal document that outlines how a person wants their property distributed after death. Nursing assistants can ethically and legally witness a will signing but cannot prepare wills. It is important to know your agency's policy before agreeing to witness a will. In conclusion, understanding the ethical and legal aspects of nursing care is essential for protecting patients and residents from harm. Ethics guide our actions and decisions, while laws provide the framework for what we can and cannot do. Maintaining professional boundaries, obtaining informed consent, and reporting abuse are crucial responsibilities for nursing assistants. By adhering to these standards, we ensure the well-being and dignity of those we care for. Thank you for your attention, and let's continue to uphold the highest ethical and legal standards in our practice.